This is going to be a response to Nick Wright. Now, I've been a follower to Nick Wright since he was actually one of the first YouTubers I ever subscribed to. One of the first bodybuilders I ever watched as a teenager, and I was probably 17 at the time, where I created my first YouTube account. And Nick has always been sort of an inspiration to me, being that he was natural, and so am I. And I always like to take advice from Nick, and he always had some good information. And I learned a lot from Nick's channel. Also, as a teen, I could relate. On to the point. Nick made a video entitled Bodybuilding versus Powerlifting, or Powerlifting versus Bodybuilding, something to that effect, where he talks about how the bodybuilding community is become really negative over the years. We as bodybuilders are insecure, and anybody else that lives, we will criticize. And since bodybuilding is not a sport, it's a beauty pageant. I will give you that. Bodybuilding is not really a sport, because a sport wouldn't be really judged in the way bodybuilding is. Most of the time there aren't judges in sports. But as far as this whole criticism thing and bodybuilders criticizing each other, well, that's what the sport of bodybuilding is. I mean, when you have I'm just going to say sport because it's easier in the sentences. When you have a sport based on judging the physique of others, you have to be prepared to be judged. If you have shitty genetics for biceps like I do, I realize that, and I know that people are going to point that out. That's what bodybuilding is. So if you can't handle that, maybe you should become a powerlifter. But on the topic of powerlifting, I don't understand, and I have a lot of respect for powerlifters. I really have a lot of respect for powerlifters. For example, I have been subscribed to Mark Bell's Powercast and Stitcher for quite a while, and I love listening to that particular Powercast. Powerlifting is something that I do every now and then as a bodybuilder, just because I like to lift heavy. So sometimes I do sets of 1 to 4, and I guess you could consider that powerlifting. But I'm doing it with the building muscle as a goal. But when it comes to powerlifting, why say someone who is a bodybuilder wants to get into strength training? Why powerlifting? Nick talked about how powerlifters were the top of the breed of humans based on power. That's not true. It's strongman. A powerlifter wants to compete in strongman, they're going to suck. But if a strongman wants to compete, we're talking top athletes here. One of the top strongmen wants to compete in powerlifting, they can fuck shit up. So I don't understand why necessarily you want to transition to powerlifting, being that it's sort of like men's physique is to bodybuilding, where it's just sort of this half-ass way of doing things. I mean, obviously in powerlifting you have to be good at your bench, squat, and deadlift. You're gonna have to be good at bench and squat in strongman. Deadlift and squat in strongman, and you're also gonna have to have an overhead press. You're gonna have to be able to lifting atlas stones. You're gonna have to be able to one-arm overhead press. There's countless number of other things that a strongman is better at than a powerlifter. And like I said, uh, I have respect for powerlifters because as a bodybuilder, they're not really that much different. I don't really understand if someone can even say they are switching from one to the other because Nick is a natural athlete, and for a natural athlete, strength training and muscle training are the same damn thing. I mean, as a natural athlete, you're not going to get bigger without getting stronger, and you're not going to get stronger without getting bigger. I mean, that's just the way things work. I mean, unless you're on drugs, it's the same damn thing. So I don't understand how you could even say um, that you're switching from one to the other. I mean, and Nick has always been one of those guys that trains heavy. Uh, I mean, I've been following him for a long time. He normally trains like a power lifter anyway, with a lot of accessory movements, which he still said he's going to do. So I don't know. I just don't understand. You're ashamed to call yourself a bodybuilder. You've built your fame on the name as a teen bodybuilder. Now you're coming and dissing us bodybuilders for being insecure and all this other crap. But I mean, I do agree. At some point, you have to be insecure to train like a bodybuilder. I mean, to train in any way whatsoever, to improve your physique, you have to have some sort of insecurity. That's also true with powerlifting. I mean, no one who already felt like they were the strongest guy got into powerlifting. No one who felt like they were the biggest guy ever got into bodybuilding. Basically the same wording. But anyway, maybe someone can explain this to me. Why the diss on bodybuilders, and also why half-assing the strength side of training? Why not go all the way and do strongman? Because, like I said before, powerlifting is strength training, definitely, but not as much as strongman. I mean, never going to find a strongman who can't go to a powerlifting meet and fuck shit up. Matter of fact, probably never going to find a bodybuilder who can't go to a powerlifting meet and fuck shit up.